Many of us talk about what we care, but this woman lives out her values. I am unable to read her full bio. It is quite lengthy. She would not be happy with me. But I'd like to draw your attention to page 10. This is where my comments are drawn from. The 2011 keynote speaker for the 25th annual MLK celebration is Robin Hickman. Robin is the CEO and executive producer of Soul Touch Productions, a television and film production, youth mentorship, and media consulting company with a mission to make meaningful media and produce powerful social impact experiences. The business of Soul Touch and Robin's personal commitment is to plant a seed of hope in young people and present visions of possibilities. She is the founder and curriculum developer of the Lovin' the Skin I'm In Hope and Healing Movement, a Soul Touch partnership initiative for youth inspired by Sharon Flake's book, The Skin I'm In. The movement explores societal standards of beauty and media influences on self-esteem and identity. Robin is a native of and resides in St. Paul, Minnesota. She's a member of the Mount Olivet Baptist Church and also participates in worship at Camford United Methodist Church. Robin is a graduate of St. Paul Central High School and received a BA from Howard University in Washington, D.C. Robin has traveled throughout the U.S., Mexico, the Caribbean, and Africa. One of her greatest passions is a collection of multicultural dolls. She uses these dolls in motivational presentations to inspire creativity, positive self-esteem, and to promote cultural diversity. As I stated a moment ago, I could say so much more about Robin, but I'm going to end with these couple of points. Robin is a woman of God. Robin stands as a beacon of light in her community and in communities across the state. And Robin lives her values and her belief in God out loud. Please join me in welcoming Robin Hickman.
Above. God Almighty, God of love, please look down and see my people through. Those are the words of Duke Ellington's sacred song, Come Sunday. And in times like these, we need Come Sunday, we need Sabbath day, we need Friday, we need pray for those who pray 5 times a day, and we need Him in our secret places, giving honor to God. And I can because we're here to celebrate Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And in the words to our family of and from our dear uncle Bishop Stanley Neal Frazier, he said, "Hold on to God, baby, hold on to God." And today I am. When I was invited to deliver the message today, I said, no, until I pray. So I didn't pray, and God flooded my spirit with thoughts. And then I went downstairs to my mother, and my way of bringing her here is to call out her name, Patricia Frazier Hickman. She said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Mom, I don't know." She said, "It is your time. it is your time. And this morning when I came downstairs, she said she called upon the spirits of our families, members, including her brother Neil, and her dear friend Katie. For a time such as this, I solicit your prayers. My message today has been on some kind of journey in this last week. God brought two things to my spirit today, this morning. Dr. King said, the ultimate measure of a man, and I'd say woman, is not where he stands in moments of convenience, but where he stands or she stands in times of challenge and controversy. Then to my spirit today came Dr. Betty Shabazz. I was privileged to call her Aunt Betty. When she was here handling the business of her daughter some years back, she was invited out to KMOJ to talk to the brothers from the community, who asked her, what would Brother Melcom have us do, Sister Betty, about the man and the struggle? And she said, he'd tell you, be still and be quiet, because we operate too often out of confusion. The Bible says, be still and know. The Bible also says, a prophet is without honor in his own homeland. But today, as a daughter of a son of Rondo, Daddy, and a daughter of Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and the north side of Minneapolis, and as a fifth-generation Minnesotan, I am honored, not as a prophet, but as a servant, that the Council on Black Minnesotans, the Governor's Commission, and, where is it, Mr. Lester Collins, entrusted me with this honor in her own homeland. I thank you. I know I'm surrounded, and thank y'all for those of y'all who stayed. Thank you. I'm surrounded by the village, members of the village, and the Hick clan. Where's my Hick clan? Where's my nieces and nephews and everybody? The Hickman clan and my aunt, everybody. There we all go. And there's the next best thing to hearing a little child call you mama is hearing, auntie. But the young people that are here today fuel me. I'm reminded of when I was the principal for the day at Dr. Benjamin E. Mays Elementary School. Many people from this community made sure that that name honored Dr. Martin Luther King's mentor, Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. And those children walked with a posture because they knew the man in which the school was named for. They knew the man in which the school was named for. I don't want to go to Gordon Parks High School ever again and see a student who does not know who Gordon Parks is. I'm just saying. But the little brothers at the school were so proud to have the little cornrows in their hair and everything, looking all fresh. Miss Robin, you know my people? I said, yeah, I'm your homegirl. I know your people. And we played, but when they did the interview, they were very serious. And the last question they posed to me was, Miss Robin, why do you call your company Soul Touch? I said, because when you come to work with me, we're going to create things that touch souls. He said, I like that. So hopefully today I will touch your soul. If you can imagine, I try to go through this and chop and try to get you all out of here, so try to condense my message. But in Dr. Martin King's Nobel Peace Prize address, he stated, I believe that unarmed truth, and y'all remember, truth will set us free, and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. My dear community godfather, Mahmoud El-Kati, once shared a quote by James Baldwin, it's time for lovers of humanity to find one another. The first thing we do when we find one another, though, we got to agree that we're going to find one another in a spirit of love. When we do that, we'll take care of that civility problem we have. And then we must rediscover and re-examine the blueprint for everlasting change. I would add hope and healing. Yes, I said rediscover and examine because I believe we have lived the answers we are seeking. There's a West African word that says, Sankofa, go back and reclaim that which was lost, and I'd add, or stolen. It only makes sense that we follow the blueprint, the roadmap. What is that GPS? I don't have one. God, a regular little car. GPS. Traveled with my uncle to Florida last week, and he just wanted to disregard the GPS and got us all messed up. In my business, we call it a script. But you know what? We get to flipping the script. We don't want to memorize our lines. We don't want to listen to the director. Drama on the set. And that only results in the movie either not getting made or a box office flop. Powerful visions when we disregard the roadmaps, the blueprints, the scripts. People miss out on powerful experiences. Well, I'm glad now. Okay, we're going to lighten it up. I'm glad. Here we go. People who know me, they know I cannot leave home without my dog. This connects, y'all, because I connect the dots. I'm thankful that the visionary of Star Trek wrote the script for us to give us, when we were little girls and little children, we got to watch Star Trek because we got to see Lieutenant Uhuru. A leader in the future, a vision of possibilities for us, and then that came my man, Dr. Captain Cisco, Deep Space Nine. But I bring them up because that's what about. This is the prize we keep our eye on. I've been taking this doll around all week to take to children. Just on Wednesday, Mama called and said that the actress, Miss Nicholas, who played Lieutenant Uhuru, was on Tab and smiling, talking about how Dr. King begged her to not quit the show because our children need your image, your character, so that they can see that they can be leaders in the future. We have to get deliberate in bringing our children's visions and possibilities. We must. Now, I bet you, she later met King children who said their parents got to let them see her and stay up late. But I bet you, President Obama watched Lieutenant Uhuru. So that he would know one day he would be a leader in the future. This is serious for the children. See, children that are confused, whatever, you bring those dolls out, they're very, very powerful. Let me move them now and just try to get coordinated here. We must. Also, thank you, Uncle Ma. He told me way before I was invited to do this to reread Letters from a Birmingham Jail. We got to hear more of his speeches. We need to bring more of his speeches to our children. They're blueprints. Dr. King's speeches are blueprints. Quickly, in it he talks about being labeled as an extremist. And he said, the question is not whether or not we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists will we be? Will we be extremists for hate or love, or the preservation of injustice, or the extension of justice? Dr. King became very comfortable with the label of agitator and cited other people in history who were also labeled as being radical. But I remember the folks in this community who were labeled militants and radicals. I wonder if my Nana, Lillian Parks Thomas, was a radical because she dedicated her life to ensuring that people had basic needs. I think that she was labeled that she was tired all the time. But she did her thing with style and grace. Her spirit is with me today. Radicals restructured the school districts in St. Paul and hired black teachers so we could walk to school and see Miss Shirley Kaiser, a principal who looked like us. And then we expect to claim Aretha Franklin's respect every day when we walk into the classroom. Lisa and Melissa Moore and I talk all the time about what the women we are today because of how we were nurtured as children in St. Paul Public Schools. And I thank Superintendent Sylvia for bringing back community schools right on. I'm not mad at her. Militant professors and students who planted the seeds in us as children that we could stand on college campuses because we were tutored at the Black House at McAllister College. And heard the sounds of blackness tell us that we were young, gifted, and black. Thank God for the radicals who've transformed us at Still Sweetly, Hallie T. Brown, Sebastian, the Law, the Way, and the Inner City Youth League. Our faith leaders and community members stood with us in schools, the battlefields, out in communities that didn't want us in that second wave of busing. And where would I be if I did not get to bear witness to Katie McGuire standing in the pits, being arrested, demanding for the right for us to have jobs on the public works project, and then telling them, I promise children will know Katie McGuire. They will know Katie McGuire, our local shero. And today we don't do nothing else. Go to Lexington and Dayton, Victoria and Dayton, Dale and Dayton, and see Katie McGuire Avenue. And when your children ask, know who she is. I'm so thankful for Reverend Bill Smith and those radical architects who created Black unity and futurism when we were children and recruited us from all throughout the Twin Cities to do activism work as young people. And I'll tell you, the march from Central High School to here, that's cool. But when we were young people in the community, with community members, we marched from the community to the Capitol to fight for this day of peace. As young people feeling proud, we breathe life into the courage and commitment of Representative Randolph Stanton when he created the bill that was passed for us to be here today. When we stood up as young activists and for social justice, and when we ran into trouble, we had a village that came to our rescue. I do not have time to read the poem by Maya Angelou, A Pledge to Rescue Our Youth. Find it and please read it. But when I read the poem, I conclude the poem with who will rescue the rescuers. Gets into what Brother Lester was talking about, what has been lifted up, and what Brother Felipe shared earlier. We're taking care of each other. That's weary work. But I know for sure, I have good friends in the family, but the kids, the young people, the babies in this community rescue me. They rescue me when I see them on the streets and hear Miss Robin, or in Cub Food, or when I speak to students and they get it, and I teach them rescue each other. I mentioned Cub Food, I see children all the time. But let me tell you this, and I may get ready to close with this. In the dollar store last year, a week before Halloween, I saw a mother come in with 2 little girls and 2 men. She hollered out, "Come here, sexy, and look at these costumes." And I prayed. She was talking to one of those men. At the front of the store, I asked her, "Sister, your daughters are so pretty, what are their names?" She proudly said, "Beautiful and sexy." We got to stop flipping the script. I can't recite statistics and stuff up here today, but I can tell you about sexy. That's where we are. I'm not blaming her mama. Her mama might be in here today. Let's find her and love her up and quickly help her to give her daughter another name. That's being about the blueprint. But a group of influenced, wonderful, strong young people that I worked with last year in a workshop, I told them that story. And I told them that my work is about not just the children in the hood, but the children in the suburbs or whatever we got to come all together. But I said, my responsibility is to instill something in you, because one day you all might be Sexy's teacher, or lawyer, or doctor. I said, young men and women, you may one day just encounter Sexy on the street. And I want to know I've given you something so that when Sexy looks in your eyes, looking back at her, it's affirmation. It's better than a mother's good to her. You have to look, and I know how it feels to have somebody look right through me, but I might have saved their baby the day before. I gotta tell it, I'm having my say. We have to do better and stop preaching the blueprints and speaking death into one another. We can't do it anymore. We cannot do it anymore. Lastly, I have to speak around, but I'm saying this. I ain't leaving without saying this. Someone had the vision in the 3rd grade at J.J. Hill to cast me as Harriet Tubman in the school play. Been feeling like I've played that role all my life, ready to retire to Canada. But that's how they looked at us when we were little. They saw the potential in us. And I remember holding a cardboard rifle to the head of my friend Jackie saying, "Freedom or death." Okay? Y'all, we got a modern day underground railroad that we need to be up on right now. Because we ain't free yet. We're not free yet. We are not. Where's the deal? I'm looking at the youngest Hickman grandchild. Baby, this is for you. I nurture young people because I want them to know what they're talking about when they stand before you one day. So for preparing for the modern day freedom ride, there are many things we must do. One, we must have a covenant with one another to not breach each other's spirits. We must have some rules for engagement. We must prepare by gathering the main instrument we must have. So when the path gets dark, those candles. Some might go to the market to get their candles. Some might go to Saks Fifth Avenue to get their candles. Some of us know we better study that candle maker and make sure he's using the best wick and wax. And then we got to get on the journey. Nighttime comes. Some might not have a candle. That's cool. Just make sure the other candles don't, wear out. Make sure the lid has some matches ready. But I'll tell you one thing. See, the more candles lit, the better illumination of the path. So what sense does it make for us to go around blowing up each other's lights? That makes no sense. I'm going to blow out your light because your light is eclipsing mine. We got to stop it. We have to stop and understand there are ramifications for rationalizing, reinforcing, and rewarding raggedy. We can't do it anymore. We cannot. But I have the hope. Those young people that I spoke to, they went through their workshop. I said, come back. And then through artistic expression, share with us. Didn't they, Lisa? Share with us what you learned today, what your experience was through artistic expression. The young people came back strong, but the last group said, we have decided to write a love letter to sex. That's how I experience young people rescuing this rescuer every day. So I'm not tired. I am not tired because I know for sure they can do it. In the spirit of lifting up the blueprint. I know how to do it because this village, when healthy, taught me how to do it. I'm old school through and through, unapologetically. Often we grow weary, but he knows our every care. Go to him in secret, and he'll hear your every prayer. He'll bring peace and comfort to every troubled mind. Come Sunday, oh, come Sunday, that's the day. Thank you very much.